Alright, hey guys, Pax here, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video, and in this video we'll be going over Maushold, an extremely fun Pokemon with a bit of RNG, but also a lot of potential, standing at 1 foot in height, 6.2 pounds in weight, HP 70, has 1 attack, family beatdown, flip a coin for each Tandemaus and Maushold you have in play. This attack does 60 damage for each heads, so you can do up to 240 damage using this attack. And you guys might be wondering, like, wait, this is at stage 1, Tandemaus is the basic, but looking at Tandemaus, the couple Pokemon, has 1 attack Flock. After using it, you can put 3 random cards from among Tandemaus and Maushold from your deck onto your bench, allowing you to get 2 copies of Tandemaus on the field, as well as 2 copies of Maushold. Very fun, somewhat of a unique card, but yeah, this is the deck list right here. I'll show it yet again towards the end of the video. But yeah, if you're new to my channel, really do consider if you like and subscribe. Really does help me out, especially as a small-time content creator. And without further ado, let's get right in to the deck showcase. Alright, here we are. In our first battle, we are going second up against the Mega Absol EX / Hydreigon solo deck. And again, if you guys are in my deck showcases, first battle isn't really meant to be too hard, more so just to get the feel for a deck. So leading with Tandemaus, perfect. Opponent leading with Dino can potentially get Hydreigon out next turn, but we can definitely chill like this. So this is pretty nice. Might as well Rescue Scarf. Here we go. So Flock, just like this, we have 2 Pokemon in our bench, and if this Maushold was in our deck instead of our hand, we would be able to put this Mouse Pokemon onto our field, doing a max of 240. Now, looking at this, we are only doing a max of 180, which is still a lot. We can definitely one-shot Hydreigon potentially, but it really depends on the coin flip. This deck is very coin flip dependent, so it's a lot of fun, but not always the most consistent. But just like this, Tandemaus does get knocked out. Because of Rescue Scarf, it goes back to our hand. Might as well Protective Poncho one of the Tandemauses. Speed Maushold, Rocky Helmet, Will. So we are guaranteed to do 60 damage. We need 1 more heads to one-shot this Hydreigon, getting a ton of value. The main issue is that, of course, my opponent getting pretty good luck could potentially get another Hydreigon out next turn. But it's ultimately up to RNG. So here we go. First coin flip. Okay. Guaranteed. Just like that, doing 120. Able to one-shot Hydreigon. And yeah, getting a lot of value, especially with a colorless Pokemon that only requires 1 energy. You're getting a lot of value. Very fast-paced deck. This deck is very fast. I feel like it does strive more so in the early game than the late game. So, interesting. Subbing into Absol, buying a bit of time, chipping this Tandemaus. At this point, we might as well play it like this. So, sub this guy in. Let's do this. Sub out. And then Rescue Scarf. So once this does get knocked out, we can at least get another Tandemaus on the field. So, here we go. Once again, doing only 180, and if he had 1 more, again, 240 max damage. Okay, tails, and heads. Okay, yeah, that's the issue with this deck. It's coin flip dependent. Like, a lot of potential, but you might run into some issues. But nevertheless, if you're not using this in ranked, if you're using this in like solo battles like I am, or in like emblem event, casual battles, you will have a lot of fun. Opponent is a noob. Interesting, so leap over, this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench. Tries targeting this Tandemaus, but because of Protective Poncho, prevent all damage done to that Pokemon by your opponent's attacks and abilities if the Pokemon is in the bench. So, an amazing counter to something like Greninja, non-EX Greninja. Family beatdown. I need at least 1 heads, please. 1 heads. Okay, alright. Power family is not on our side. But we still have hope. If my opponent subs into Mega Absol, we got Will. So here we go. We could potentially one-shot this Mega Absol if my opponent doesn't Giant Cape, which they do. Maushold is dead. Ooh, we did lose Will. That's not good. We don't need Will, man. We don't need Will. All right, here we go. Family is here. We got family on our side. Might as well Guzma. Yeah, here we go. So we could still one-shot Mega Absol, but it's a long shot. 3 heads. Come on. Power of family. Here we go. Family beatdown. Okay. Doing only 120. So you see how this deck works. Has a lot of potential. Not that good, but also still a ton of fun. Like, if you're not taking the game too seriously, then yeah. Granted, I mean, this matchup, it is a solo deck. We are going up against a solo deck, but this solo deck is like one of the best ones out there. The deck in general. So yeah, with that being said, we shall see how this deck performs in PvP. Alright, here we are in PvP battle. We are going second. Not good. We do have a Maushold in our hand. This is why this deck is also running 2 copies of Iono, because when using Flock, you want to make sure you have no Pokemon in your hand, which is why instead of Copycat, we are running Iono. Opponent might be using a Solgaleo deck. Interesting. So hopefully we can outspeed it. At this point, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, Rocky Helmet, Tandemaus, and Flock. Good Professor, but again, I want to maximize my the overall board, our board. So we get 2 Pokemon out. Perfect. Our opponent places down Olo and Grimer as well as Cosmoem in the bench, most likely getting out Solgaleo next turn. So at this point, evolve Tandemaus, Rescue Scarf, feed Maushold, retreat, and attack. Again, max of 180 damage. Just 1 heads is all I need. 1 heads right there, perfect. Okay, a bit overkill, yeah, but this is why you should never underestimate family. The reason why I lost the solo battle is because I didn't have family in my mind. I didn't have the family heart. Yes, I need to binge watch Fast and Furious. I need to get into that family mindset. So opponent does step in Solgaleo. Okay. Muck as well, Alolan Muck, which is pretty scary, essentially negating abilities, but our Pokemon have no abilities, so it doesn't really affect us whatsoever. One-shotting, Solgaleo does take 10 damage, so we got Maushold in our hand, perfect. Subbing in this Tandemaus, once again, doing a max of 180. What's up, Iono? So, evolve. Alright, here we go. And it's ultimately up to this turn. So we can just win right now, or we can lose, which is why this deck is very fast-paced. Again, better in the early game. Towards the mid to late game, it does kind of fall off, especially once your opponent does get fully built. And here we go. Power of family, come on, please. So I'm guaranteed 60. Come on, please. Okay. Ah, gosh, dude. Yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you like family. It's not with me right now. Family is not on my side. But it's not over. We have one more chance. Now we are doing a max of 120. Ooh, but we do have Rocky Helmet. Opponent has 4 cards. Most likely they'll have Lily, but we have no choice but to risk this. Here we go. So, Rocky Helmet, or here we go. Power of family. Please. Please. If I win this, I'll make my own family. Here we go. 2 heads. Okay. It's not over yet. I mean, I could still win if my opponent doesn't have a Lily, which I feel like they have a very high chance of having. 5 cards. They may instead. Hold up. Okay. Just like that, Power Family, we get a tie. Sure, I'll take a tie. That's Tandemaus. Yeah, that's a lot of fun, but again, a lot of RNG, which is why, yeah, if you use this in ranked, depending on how lucky you are, then if you have like this main protagonist plot armor, you might have a lot of fun. But if you are using this in ranked, most of the times, you can't rely on family. That's a sad truth. For our next battle, we are going first. Hand looks pretty good. So far, no Pokemon. Okay, not the worst. For now, I'm just gonna end my turn. I could Professor's Research, but if I do that, I might end up pulling a Pokemon. And again, you want to get as much Pokemon out on the field as possible. Very interesting. So my opponent is using an DD/Snorlax EX deck. Very straightforward stuff. So all we do right now is feed. And we could either Sabrina or Repel. I feel like this turn, I might as well Sabrina. Because keep in mind, Sabrina is a supporter card, whereas Repel is an item. So this deck has a lot of supporters. Next turn, we could just lead with Will. Yeah, so just do this. Flock. Getting our whole family in the bench. Here we go. Come on. Power of family. I've doubted family in the past, but I believe this time will be different. So my opponent's actually getting a ton of value. They have 6 cards left. They used 2 copycats already. At this point, might as well be a bit aggressive. So one thing to know is that Indeedee, Psychic, does 30 base damage and 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. For Maushold's case, only doing 60 damage if I don't feed him 1 more energy. So yes, play it like this. Retreat into Maushold. At this point, might as well Will. Here we go. We can do a max of 240. We need to get 3 heads. Then we can just one-shot the Snorlax. It'll be huge value if we can do that. So here we go. First heads. Okay, just like that. 3 heads doing 160. Exactly 160 against Snorlax. Yeah, you see the potential with this deck. A lot of potential. Granted, man, this deck my opponent is using isn't really that good. Our opponent subs in Snorlax, and that's it. And just like this, please don't surrender, because here we go. Will. Please. Might as well feed the other Maushold. And I could have repelled, but I don't... Oh my gosh, I hesitated. Okay, I would have won either way. Alright, next battle, going second. hand looks pretty good. So we have Guzma. Guzma is amazing, especially if your opponent has Poke Tools. So, okay, use an Eevee, interesting. Rescue Scarf. Again, I could Professor's Research, but I mean, given my luck, I could potentially just pull a Pokemon. I will save Guzma for next turn if I do start attacking. And this is why I save Guzma. My opponent evolves into Jolteon, doing 60 damage onto Tandemaus. Okay, places a Rocky Helmet on their bench Pokemon. So, just like this, Tandemaus is back. Perfect. Gonna absolutely decimate this Jolteon. So use Guzma, getting a ton of value. And here we go. There's no way I get 4 heads, right? Or 4 tails. Maybe I'll get 4 heads, that'll be insane. 3 heads. 180 against Jolteon. And this is my second turn. This family Pokemon can do 180. This is your second turn, which is kind of insane. Granted, I mean, it is coin flip dependent, but once you have your whole family in your bench, the chances of you getting at least 2 heads is pretty high. Oh boy, okay. Interesting. So opponent does evolve into Jolteon. Eevee bags doing 70 damage, also copycats, okay. Okay, so one-shotting Maushold. But there is still hope. For one thing, Jolteon is gone. Subbing into this Maushold can do up to 180 damage, but that's fine. Still a huge damage number. I need to get 2 heads though. 2 Ionos. At this point, I could Professor, but I might as well Iono. I would prefer to have a much better hand, and for Celestic Town Elder, this card only works against basic Pokemon. So since Maushold is a stage 1, it won't be, we can't bring it back to our hand. So here we go. Iono, not the worst at this point. Might as well Protective Poncho and Believe in Family. Come on. Power of Family. Okay, first heads. Just like that, 120. And then now my opponent can't really do much. Could evolve into Jolteon EX, but even then, needs to wait 2 more turns until they can attack. Opponent red cards. I appreciate that. Okay, I got Repel, Professor, Sabrina. Nice. Opponent Sabrina's. Sure. Why not? Next turn, I can easily retreat out of Tandemaus. Alright, here we go. Power of Family. I just need to get 1 heads and I win. There's no way I lose this, right? I feel like I could Repel if I fail this coin flip. That's the main issue, is that if I fail this, then I might have lost. My opponent can get Jolteon EX out. But you know what? Power of Family, man. At least 1 heads, please. Perfect. Just like that. GG. 180. Power of Family. Yeah. So a ton of fun. I'm gonna do one more battle. But overall, just, you're either gonna love this deck a lot or hate it, depending on your RNG. If you're a lucky person, this is a good investment. Alright, last battle. Going first. Hand doesn't look good. We have 2 Mausholds in our hand, so we need to pull in Iono to get a much better hand. Alright, opponent leading with Charmander. All I can do now is Rescue Scarf and end my turn. Perfect, we got Iono. Amazing. So at this point, might as well Repel. Yes, this could bite us in the back later on, but why not? This will disrupt my opponent a little bit. Give me a better hand. No Pokemon, please. Okay, that's good. That's nice. So all we can do now is Flock, getting our whole backline built. One thing that's kind of scary is that my opponent is running Dew Spider. I forgot the name of the evolution, but the evolution, there's a supporter card that is essentially a Sabrina. So could be kind of scary, but at the same time, I mean, again, pretty easy retreat. We do have a Rescue Scarf, so we could Rescue Scarf our second copy of Tandemaus. Interesting, okay. Opponent subs into Anti-EX. Flame Patchers as well. They might have wasted that Flame Patch if we are able to one-shot the Entei. Alright, this should be GG. I'm actually going to Rescue Scarf the Maushold. So once this card does get knocked out, I can evolve yet again into Tandemaus. So for now, this Professor's Research. Not too bad. We're just going to chill like this. A ton of Poke Tools. So, Family Beatdown. Our family, please help me out. Okay. Damn. Not able to one-shot Entei, but Entei is rather low. If we were able to one-shot Entei, that would have been huge, because we can just Sabrina next turn, and then potentially one-shot one of my opponent's bench Pokemon. Especially if they do sub in Charmeleon, which it seems like they will, since they just made right now. Okay, rather scary. Opponent not able to one-shot Maushold. I totally forgot this guy had 7 HP. Entei only does 60. So look at this. This is something. At this point, again, energy becomes kind of redundant. So might as well feed this Maushold. Why not? Family Beatdown. All I'm asking for is 1 heads. There we go. Just like that. 180. Yeah. So a lot of fun. Next turn, Sabrina, and I believe. Please. Next turn, I will do a max of 180, but still. I can just one-shot Araquanid, second copy of Charmander. Okay, Mega Charizard Y is out. This is heating up. Quite literally. Ooh, boy. Also, Serena's. Interesting. So only one copy of Mega Charizard Y. Okay. So Mega Charizard Y does take 190. I could play this a bit risky. I could Guzma and then just hope that I get 3 heads and then one-shot the Mega Charizard Y, but given my luck, here we go, Sabrina. Interesting. Okay, subbing into Charmeleon. Feed in, why not? This guy. Come on. All I need is, what, 2 heads? Just like that. Power of family. Never doubt family. And Mega Charizard Y is still pretty good. Granted, my opponent could have played it a bit smarter, but ultimately their RNG wasn't really that good. And yeah, that was the Maushold deck showcase. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. For this deck showcase, I wanted to kind of choose a deck that wasn't really that good, but also really not that bad. It's kind of like a little fun deck for today. And Maushold, the family Pokemon, is it. Just the power of family. Just like in real life, family is unpredictable. Could definitely help you or also hinder you. Which is this is the embodiment of family. This Pokemon, this mouse Pokemon, this 6.2 pounds mouse Pokemon. And yeah, overall, I'd rate this deck solid C tier. Again, in ranked battles, you might not see too much success, but if you want a very chill deck to use for solo battles as well as in PvP, just have fun with your friends, then this is the deck for you. And as you can see, it's very good early game. And you want to maximize your bench, because if you can't, then of course you won't be doing max damage. You won't be able to do the max damage. And even then, to do max damage, you need to get 4 heads in a row. So if you hate coin flips, I'd say stay away from this deck. If you don't, again, just going for a very fun deck, then yeah, might as well invest into it. Not really that hard to invest into it as well. And yeah, that's the deck showcase. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe because it really does help me out, especially as a small-time content creator. Got a few more deck showcases planned for the week, so stay tuned. And yeah, with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.